Ladies, gentlemen, listen to me closely. You don't get in life what you want, you get what you're prepared for. And the best preparation every single day is to educate yourself. Feed your mind like your life depends on it, because it does. You see, the mind is like a garden. If you don't plant purpose, growth, and greatness, weeds of doubt and distraction will take over. Every single day, you've got a choice. Scroll or study, complain or commit, exist or evolve. And I'm not talking about formal education only. I'm talking about books, audiobooks, podcasts, prayers, mentorships, and life lessons. Learn from your pain. Learn from your failure. Learn from that heartbreak, that betrayal, that closed door. Don't just go through it, grow through it. The reason some people stay stuck is not because they're not smart, it's because they stopped learning. They stopped sharpening the sword. They got comfortable. And comfort is the enemy of progress. Every day, you educate yourself. You take a step away from who you were and a step closer to who you're becoming. You level up. You think deeper. You speak with power. You walk with clarity. And you handle life like the warrior God designed you to be. In today's world, everything is shifting. Technology, communication, business, even how we connect with people. It's not about where you were born, what degree you have, or who you know. It's about what you know and what you're doing with it. Knowledge is the great equalizer. It puts power in the hands of those who seek it, not those who sit back and wait for it. When you educate yourself daily, you're building a wealth that no one can steal from you. You're stacking value inside your mind that pays you in confidence, clarity, and creativity. The internet gave us access to the entire world, but that access means nothing if you're not using it. You can learn a new skill, study a new language, master your craft, all from your phone. That's power. That's currency. The world doesn't owe you anything, but if you learn something new every single day, you start creating your own worth. And when your value goes up, your income goes up. Your influence goes up and your impact multiplies. This is the age of self-education, because waiting on someone else to teach you is how you stay behind. So remember this. The new rich aren't just people with money, they're people with wisdom, skills, and strategies. Educate yourself daily and you'll never go broke in mind or in mission. See, we all have patterns, ways of thinking, reacting, and showing up that keep us locked in place. But daily learning disrupts those patterns. It introduces new perspectives, new strategies, and new ways of being. You begin to question your limitations. You start asking, why not me? Why not now? That's not arrogance, that's awakening. You don't grow by staying in the same mindset that kept you comfortable. You grow by challenging yourself, stretching your boundaries, and daring to become someone you've never been. Education fuels that transformation. It gives you permission to evolve. And that evolution, it's not always loud. Sometimes it's in the quiet moments, when you choose to study instead of scroll, when you speak life instead of doubt, when you do the hard thing instead of the easy one. That's when you realize you've outgrown the old you. You're not just learning facts. You're becoming free from who the world told you to be, free from small thinking, free from past versions of yourself. And that kind of freedom, that's priceless. And you commit to educating yourself daily, you begin to separate yourself from the crowd. You start being replaceable and you start becoming essential. In a world where people are showing up with the same excuses, the same skill sets, and the same attitudes, your dedication to learning makes you stand out like a lighthouse in the fog. See, anybody can show up and do the bare minimum. But when you consistently pour into your mind, You bring more to the table, more insight, more solutions, more leadership. And when you bring more, you're worth more. You become the person people count on, the one who always seems to have the answer, the vision, the next step. That doesn't happen by accident. That happens through intentional, daily growth. The truth is, the world doesn't promote mediocrity. It rewards mastery. And mastery is built one learning session at a time. Every book you read, every lesson you absorb, every principle you apply, you're carving out a space for yourself that no one else can fill. Because talent might open the door, but it's wisdom and growth that keep you in the room. Educating yourself daily makes you a leader, even when you're not given the title. It makes you an asset in your business, your relationships, your purpose. It makes people look to you for guidance because you've invested in your ability to deliver. When you make the decision to educate yourself daily, you're doing more than just gaining knowledge. You're keeping your mind alive, alert, and active. You're fighting off complacency, which is one of the most dangerous states a person can fall into. Because once you get comfortable, once you think you've arrived, your hunger dies. And so does your progress. Mental stimulation is like fuel for your spirit. It keeps you sharp, it keeps you curious, keeps you asking questions instead of pretending you already have all the answers. And that curiosity, that's what keeps your soul young and your mind dangerous in the best way. Mental stimulation is like fuel for your spirit. It keeps you sharp. It keeps you curious. It keeps you asking questions instead of pretending you already have all the answers. And that curiosity, that's what keeps your soul young and your mind dangerous in the best way. A complacent mind is a lazy mind. It stops growing, stops pushing, and settles for average. But a mind is fed daily with books, ideas, strategies, wisdom. That's a mind that doesn't sleep on itself. That's a mind that says, I know it all, but I'm open, I'm hungry, and when you stimulate your mind consistently, you stay connected to your potential. You stay aware of your blind spots. You challenge your own thinking. And most importantly, you stay humble. Because the more you learn, the more you realize there's so much more to learn. So don't wait for life to force you into change. Grow on purpose. Keep your mind alive with knowledge, because a stimulated mind doesn't settle. It seeks, it creates, it leads. When you make it a habit to educate yourself daily, you start to notice something powerful happening. Opportunities begin to find you. You no longer have to chase every door because your preparation causes the right doors to open. Growth attracts growth. And when you develop yourself consistently, you become a magnet for higher level conversations, connections, and callings. People can feel it when you're on a different frequency. They can hear it in how you speak, how you think, how you solve problems. You carry a presence that says, I'm ready, not hoping, not guessing, ready. That kind of readiness comes from showing up every day, sharpening your mind, expanding your understanding, and refining your gifts. See, opportunity doesn't just go to the most talented. It goes to the most prepared. And preparation is a byproduct of consistent learning. When you've been putting in the work behind the scenes, studying, growing, practicing, you'll be ready when the spotlight hits. And when it does, you won't shrink. You'll shine. People in power are looking for people who are polished, people who are passionate, people who are pursuing excellence. And every time you educate yourself, you increase your value, you increase your capacity, and you make room for bigger blessings. Don't just wait for your moment, prepare for it, because the opportunities you're praying for are already on the way. The question is, will you be ready when they show up? Daily education doesn't just change what you know, it changes how you think. It reprograms your mindset from surviving to thriving, from reacting to responding, from limiting to limitless. Because what you feed your mind is what shapes your belief system, and your beliefs are the foundation of your life. If you've been taught to settle, to play small, to doubt yourself, then that's the script running in the background of your mind. But when you start learning daily, you're rewriting that script. You're feeding your brain with truth, wisdom, and strategy that start to challenge the lies you've believed for years. A daily commitment becomes your edge. It creates structure. It builds mental toughness. It keeps you moving forward even when life throws distractions, delays, or disappointments in your path. You don't fold. You focus. Why? Because your routine is no longer based on how you feel. It's based on who you're becoming. The greatest minds, the most successful people, the true warriors of purpose, they didn't just rely on talent. They built discipline through consistency. Every day, they chose growth. They were stacking bricks, building a foundation strong enough to carry their dreams. And the beauty of discipline is this: the more you practice it, the more powerful you become. Not just in your mind, but in your life. Because when you can control what you feed your mind, you can control how you respond to life. And that makes you unstoppable. When you dedicate yourself to learning every day, you build something far more valuable than knowledge. You build resilience. Life is full of setbacks, challenges, and obstacles. But what separates those who succeed from those who fall is how they handle adversity. Daily education prepares you for the inevitable storms of life by strengthening your ability to think critically, adapt, and bounce back stronger. Learning every day doesn't just teach you facts, it teaches you how to keep going when things aren't easy. It teaches you how to problem solve when the path forward isn't clear. Each new piece of knowledge gives you another tool in your toolkit to handle life's unpredictability. It builds your capacity to navigate through tough times with a mindset that says, I will find a way. I will keep moving forward. Resilience isn't just about bouncing back. It's about growing stronger in the process. It's about learning how to see the lesson in every setback. It's about knowing that your struggles don't define you. They refine you. And when you educate yourself daily, you start to see challenges as stepping stones, not roadblocks. Each difficulty becomes an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to become more prepared for the next challenge that comes your way. So, every time you face adversity, remember, your education has been preparing you for this moment. Your ability to learn, adapt, and rise above is your greatest asset. It's your secret weapon that keeps you moving forward even when everything else is pulling you back. The more you commit to learning, the more you strengthen your resilience. And the stronger you get, the harder it becomes for life to knock you down. So as you stand at the crossroads of your life, ask yourself this: what are you willing to invest in today to shape the person you become tomorrow? The choice is yours. The path to greatness, to success, to fulfillment is not a mystery. It's built through small, intentional steps taken every single day. And one of the most powerful steps you can take is to commit to educating yourself. Every time you learn, you grow. Every time you learn, you elevate yourself. Every time you learn, you build a future that reflects the effort you put in today. The world won't hand you greatness. You have to claim it, step by step, lesson by lesson. And the beauty of it is, the more you grow, the more doors open to you. The more you develop, the more you start to see what's possible, what's attainable, and what's truly meant for you. Don't wait for the perfect moment, because it may never come. Don't wait for someone else to tell you you're ready. You're ready now. Educate yourself daily and step into the person you were always meant to be. Your future is waiting for you to show up equipped, empowered, and ready to make an impact. You've got everything inside of you to succeed. Now go out there and prove it.